Hi everyone, welcome back to Morning Jolt Podcast with Precious Adequate. This morning I'll be talking on how to deal with failure. Truthfully speaking, failure is unavoidable in a man's life. Everyone at some point in life has failed. So failure is something you would definitely experience at some point in time. We all have bad days when nothing seems to go right. We all have times when we fail to achieve something that we really wanted. However, some people manage to pick up themselves and dust themselves after these experiences, while some other people find it difficult to deal with. So in today's podcast, I'll be giving you some tips on how to deal with failure when it happens. Whatever happens, you just have to pick yourself up and move on. Whether you've once failed in your academics, in your career, in business, relationships, marriage, you just have to pick up yourself and move on. So the first tip on how to manage your failure is to recognize and accept your failure. The truth is that failure hurts. Failure really hurts. And you just need to accept that. You have to recognize these feelings and accept them for who they are. Allow yourself to be hurt, but don't dwell on it for too long. Take some days for the pain to lessen and move on. Another point I would love to make is that don't make it too personal. So many people find failure devastating because their identity is tied up in succeeding. Meaning, when they fail, they see themselves as failure, rather than seeing it as just a setback. You have to try to see failure or success. You have to stop seeing failure or success as personal. Instead, see them as something you will definitely experience. See them as something you experience. It does not change the real you. It doesn't change the fact that it does not change who you are. So you have to start seeing failure as a short-term thing, something you can learn from, something you can move on. Another point is don't worry about what anyone else would think. The truth is that you cannot control what other people are saying. You cannot control what other people think about you. But you can regulate what feedbacks get to you. Sometimes our views about life and our views about success and failure are tied up in what other people would think about us. You're just so worried about what people will be saying about you, the way they see you. But you just have to stop worrying. You just have to stop worrying about what anybody may think anyway. You have to stop it. Another point, the fourth point is learn from your failures. Learn as much lessons you can from such experience. You don't really need to blame yourself for too long. You just have to recognize what you could have done better. For example, could you have studied more better? Could you have prepared more better? Could you have put in effort in that relationship? Could you have, make sacrifices in that business? So that is what you should look at whenever failure happens. You just have to look for lessons to learn from it. Look for ways you can improve yourself. You just have to take responsibility for yourself and don't hide behind any excuse. Finally, you need to see failure as a way to improve on yourself. See it as a challenge to work more on yourself. After you've realized your mistakes and discover what you could have done better, you need to put those lessons into practice so that it will help you to improve the next time. That will be all on today's podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any contribution to make concerning this topic, you can please send them to my email at preciousadequate@gmail.com. And also, please follow me on all my social media handles: Instagram at adequateprecious, Facebook at adequateprecious, and kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel to Precious Adequate. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'll come again to you next time. Have a wonderful week. Bye.